I know what you're thinking. What is going on? And now to understand what is going on, we need to start from the beginning. Hi guys, this is Axe, and in today's video we're going to talk about how did I manifest my dream life. And in this video you're going to find a lot of the stuff that I have done that you can do as well, such as I'm going to help you explore your 4 primal needs. What are the blockages that can happen with regards to these 4 primal needs, and by the end of this video you will know exactly what you need to do to get your dream life. Now, these 4 needs are as such. Let me give you an overview about it. So, we have 4 primal needs: the need to survive, the need to feed, the need to reproduce, and the need for social status. Now, if you remove blockages with regards to all these 4 primal needs, your subconscious mind will attract you towards your dream life, because these are the 4 primal needs. Once they are satisfied at a subconscious level, we all just live our life to our maximum potential. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I decided I'll talk to you guys about, the need to survive. Now, what is need to survive? Now, it is one of the most dominant primal needs. So this is the need that we share even with the animal. And according to need to survive, our subconscious mind has a dominant need that it wants to make sure that we survive each and everything in our life. So survival is its primary function. Now, when we're talking about need to survive, we need to look at everything that can cause harm to our survival. So let's suppose if you have some kind of father wound or a mother wound, that means what's going to happen is you're going to live your life based on your traumas. So you won't be able to live your life as you desire, and it puts a threat on your emotional needs. And remember one thing, guys, our subconscious mind cannot distinguish between emotional and physical feelings. So that means if any emotion damages you, it's also going to damage your physical body. So that means, what do we need to do? We need to remove blockages with regard to the mother wound and the father wound, because that will massively enhance your need to survive. Now, in my case, let's talk about my case. In my case, I had a very severe father wound, not as severe of a mother wound, but a father wound was very, very dominant. So I used to live my life seeking validation from other people, because the sort of traits that a father regulates is self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. Now, these traits were deficit in my subconscious mind. So what did I do? I lived my life seeking validation, and my survival wasn't as per my desires. So the moment I removed those blockages, guess what? I'm living my life to the fullest potential. My need to survive is being met. I attract everything that enhances my need to survive, because need to survive, guys, is by far the most important need. So, guys, you need to remove your blockages with regards to need to survive. So the way we can do that is we need to look at each and everything that causes a threat to our survival. It can be as little as being around people who are abusive. And if you have a trauma bond, you're going to be around people who are abusive. That is what is going to harm your survival. Because remember, if your emotions get damaged, so does your physical body. Because the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is emotional and what is physical. So this makes it the most important need to address, and the blockages pertaining to need to survive need to be dealt with at the topmost priority. So I had a pretty sick night and I'm still recovering from it. But let's talk about need to feed. Now, when we're talking about our need to feed, we need to look at certain things. After a need to survive, our need to feed is by far the most dominant primal need. Now, with regards to need to feed, we also need to sort of understand how need to feed works. Since our need to feed is by far easily accessible, what's going to happen is if you have any of the 4 primal needs that are not being met, your subconscious mind will try to overcompensate for the loss of those primal needs by focusing on need to feed, so that it can satisfy our primal need. Now, once we're talking about our need to feed, we also need to look at how blockages with regards to need to feed can exist. Now, in my experience, I have observed this, that a lot of the people who have been through some kind of sexual trauma or any kind of trauma with regards to how they look their subconscious mind will either make them overcompensate for need to feed by eating more, so that their subconscious mind feels like if they are not looking their best, they wouldn't be a target for any kind of sexual trauma. In those cases, if we resolve the sexual trauma, we resolve the need to feed and we make it balanced. However, we also need to understand why do you have that kind of pattern. Now, let's focus on need to survive, and I'll give you an example and you guys would be able to understand that perfectly. Now, let's suppose if you had a knife and you poke it inside your hand, you're going to feel pain, and you wouldn't want to do that because it is causing threat for your need to survive. However, with regards to need to feed, if you observe, if you're eating unhealthy food while you already know that it's not good for you, that shows that you are doing something purposefully that is compromising your need to feed in an ideal manner. So that's a blockage. Now let me tell you about my blockage so you guys can understand the sort of blockage I had. Now the sort of blockage that I had was I would be really shy to eat in front of people. I mean eating healthy in front of people, because I would be like, all right, these people are judging me like I'm trying to be fit and I wasn't fit, and I was like, if I eat healthy, they would be like, hey, you are fat, why are you trying to eat healthy? Oh, this guy's trying to be healthy. So I had that sort of blockage inside my subconscious mind, and the way I dealt with that is I went inside my subconscious mind, I removed that particular fear of eating in front of public, and as a result of that I became really healthy. I would eat as per my body's need to keep myself lean and clean and well built, and that helped me out, guys. So I attracted a lot of good food experiences into my life that were healthy. I attracted people who are into health and fitness, and that really helped me out. Now, no matter if I'm traveling or if I'm partying, at the back of my mind, my subconscious mind knows that what my body wants, and it keeps me focused. It keeps me really dedicated towards what I eat. So I do a lot of intermittent fasting. For those of you who are really interested into my fitness, I do a lot of intermittent fasting. So for like 16 or 18 hours, I wouldn't be eating, and after that I can eat whatever I want, but I still focus on healthy food, so that keeps me really lean, really shredded. So if you have any kind of sexual trauma or any kind of trauma with regards to eating, you need to resolve that, because your subconscious mind's second primal dominant need is need to feed. And if you resolve that, you become really happy, because whatever you eat influences your mood. So I'm always in a great mood, I'm always enjoying, I'm always loving my life. So that's something I would highly recommend you guys. Now, let's move on to the next need and see what do we have in store over there. Now let's talk about our need to reproduce. Now when we are talking about our need to reproduce, we have to understand this is also one of our primal needs. That means that if we are able to satisfy our need to reproduce, it adds into attracting a lot of abundance into your life. Now this may sound weird. People might be like, hey, are you saying that you can attract sex into your life? We're not just talking about sex, we're talking about the sexual intimacy. Now, when we're talking about the sexual intimacy, we need to focus on the blockages that we might have. Now, the most commonly known blockages when we're talking about sexual intimacy is the lack of self-esteem and self-worth. Now, a lot of the people might even have certain kind of blockages that deals with their body image. They might be really insecure about their body image as well. And so this is what I have observed in a lot of my clients' cases as well as even mine. If you have been subject to any kind of sexual abuse, sexual embarrassment, or any kind of sexual harassment, that can make your subconscious mind go like, all right, this person just went through shit just because of the way they were looking. So what does the subconscious mind do? It ensures that you do not look your best. And by best, I mean your own definition of best. That means that your subconscious mind will make sure that you are not looking your best and you're not able to attract the right attention into your life. The reason that it does that is because it feels if you attract that kind of attention into your life, you might be a victim to another sexual harassment or sexual embarrassment or any kind of sexual abuse. So what you need to focus on when you're trying to address your need to reproduce is you need to remove your blockages. And once you start removing these blockages, what usually happens is once you remove these blockages, your subconscious mind will then make you motivated to look after your body. It will make sure that you become the best version of yourself. The reason why it does that is because our subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is physical and what is emotional. So if you remove the emotional blockages that pertain to need to reproduce, your subconscious mind will make sure that your body is a direct reflection of your emotional state. But if you have been damaged in some shape or form at an emotional level with regards to your sexual needs, your body might not be looking the best according to your definitions. So what I did was, when I had these sort of issues, I was really overweight. I was a guy who was really insecure about the way I look, and I used to really focus on the way that I was looking. I had no regards for what's happening at an emotional level. Once I got inside hypnotherapy and I understood that we can get inside our subconscious mind and we can remove any kind of emotional trauma or physical trauma or any kind of trauma, what I did was I went inside my subconscious mind, identified the sort of sexual trauma that I might have attracted in my life, and I removed that. And once I removed that, something really magical happened. I'm not sure if a lot of you people will be able to relate with this, but my body started looking good. Of course, I am into fitness. I tend to keep myself in a good shape. However, even if I wasn't that focused on fitness, my body would still look good. It's the perception of the subconscious mind. Since my emotional state is balanced, my body tends to be really balanced as well. So if you see, this is what I even do when I'm trying to read people. I can just look at people's body and I can tell what their emotional state might be, because once again, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is emotional and what is physical. So this is where I will tell you, you need to get inside your subconscious mind, understand the sort of blockages that you might have with regards to need to reproduce. And there might also be certain conditioning between the ages of 1 to 9 where you might be conditioned to believe certain things about your need to reproduce, and that might be at play over here as well. But once you remove that, you attract a lot of the people into your life. I don't want to go into the details, but I'll tell you guys something. I tend to attract people really easily. They just tend to love the way that I look. They appreciate the way I look, and they really wish that they could look like me. The only reason that happens is because that's how I'm feeling inside, and that's what I'm attracting into my life. So this is really, really important. So make sure that you work on your need to reproduce and remove all those blockages. Now let's talk about our last primal need. Now our last primal need is need for social status. Now when we talk about social status, the definition of social status is different for everyone. However, there is one standard definition that we have observed even in animals, that they have certain social needs. So if you see, the same kind of animals usually live together in an environment or in an ecosystem. That is because we all at a subconscious level have this primal need to feel like we belong in some sort of social gathering or community. That is our primal need. Now, to get involved inside the community or live up to the social expectations of the society, there are several different components that we need to look at. One of the most dominant component when we're talking about our need for social status is money, because we have to understand, in order to attract the desired life, we all have expensive taste. Even if we don't have expensive taste, we want more of something, so we need the finances in order. So to be a part of this social society, we all need to have some kind of social status. And by social status, it can also be money that you must be making, and it is also who you are as a person. Like, what do you do and what is your social identity? How do you identify yourself in this society? Now, usually when we are talking about identity and we're talking about attracting money, you can see that these kind of traits are directly linked to the father figure. Now, if you're facing certain kind of issues with regards to satisfying your need for social status, we need to look at the blockages that might have been installed into your subconscious mind between the ages of 1 to 9, and that is when you would have been conditioned to realize what social status is and what you deserve. Because this is also something that we do not talk about, that during the ages of 1 to 9 we are also conditioned about our social status, and the sort of social status we attract in our life is also dependent upon how we were conditioned between the ages of 1 to 9, such as if there was any kind of money blockage. That is one of the most common kind of blockage that I have come across in several clients. Is between the ages of 1 to 9, their parents might have told them something along the lines of earning big money is hard. Now, if that is the conditioning you have been raised with, sure as hell you have some money blockages over there. So we need to remove that. Then what happens is, when you consciously desire a kind of a social status, but you have subconscious blockages inside your subconscious mind, what's going to happen is you will have social anxiety. When you feel that your social status is not up to the mark, you will have social anxiety in going out and meeting other people, because your identity is being challenged. Your status is being challenged in a public setting, so you would develop social anxiety. Now, when we are talking about the need for social status, we also have to understand that our social need is also to have a partner. So relationship blockages are also something that we deal when we are talking about our need for social status. We all want to have a companion in our life, or someone to share our life with, and that is something that I usually preach to a lot of my clients, how to remove their trauma bond or relationship conditioning to attract the desired relationship into their life. And if that is something that you guys would be interested in, you can sign up for a free mini therapy session with me, where I will help analyze your subconscious mind map, and if I feel like you are within the right conditions for me to help you remove your trauma bond, I will enroll you into my program. And in this 15 days, I'm going to teach you how you can get inside your subconscious mind and remove any kind of trauma or pattern and build anything that you desire in less than 2 to 3 minutes. And I also teach you conversational hypnosis, so that you become a magnet for ideal relationships. And if you see, when we're talking about the need for social status, we need to remove our relationship blockages and our social blockages. Now, if I was to talk about myself, I had certain social blockages as well. Between the ages of 1 to 9, when I was raised, I was made overly conscious about my social status, about the fact that I have to live up to the social expectations of the society, and I have to live a particular life in a particular way. However, I was a bit different. So I desired something big in my life, but I couldn't attract it as much as I want to attract it, as much as I was trying to manifest this current desired life that I'm currently living right now. I just wouldn't be able to attract it. And I realized I had blockages. Now, once I went inside my subconscious mind and I started removing these social blockages with regards to money, with regards to social status, with regards to relationship blockages, once I started removing these blockages, trust me guys, I've been able to manifest a lot of the crazy shit in my life, and I'm loving my life. I love the fact that my social needs are being satisfied, and that is the best part about my life. If you see, all my primal needs are being satisfied because I removed the blockages that were holding my subconscious mind back from attracting these stuff into my life, and now I have it all. let's conclude this video and understand that what happens once you remove blockages from all these four primal needs. Now we have to understand these four primal needs are our basic needs. We need these needs to be satisfied for us to be living a life that we love. Now remember one thing, whatever you do in your life, if these four primal needs are being addressed with that particular activity, you are going to love it, because these are our four primal needs. And once you remove blockages from these four primal needs, you just keep attracting these magnificent experiences into your life. And I'll tell you something really important. So on my vacation, I met this German girl, and we met in a taxi, and we were just traveling on an island, and we got along really great, and I really liked her. But then she had to go somewhere else, and I had to go somewhere else. Quite recently, after 15 days of me meeting her on that island, I suddenly came across her in some other city, uncoordinated, and she just bumped into me, and we were like shocked. Now, I know I preach this to so many clients and I explain to them how law of attraction works. But if you see, I removed my blockages, so I'm able to manifest everything into my life so effortlessly that I was planning on meeting her, but then I bumped into her. It's almost like the universe wanted me to meet her, and we did. And we went out partying. We had a great time together. But what you need to understand is, once you remove the blockages from these four primal needs, you are going to effortlessly attract whatever you can think of. And that is something that I have experienced, a lot of my clients have experienced as well. So this is how I manifested my dream life. And it's time for you to manifest your dream life, and you know what you need to do. You need to start removing the blockages from your four primal needs. And if you can do exactly what I have told you, I can promise you that you will attract everything, and each and every one of your wildest dream is going to walk into your life. And all you have to do is just go inside your subconscious mind and remove the blockages, and you know exactly how to do that. And if that is something that is going to interest you guys, you know where to find me. Now let's show you guys some of the most craziest things that I have manifested into my life.